Detectives from our homicide branch worked this case, and the office of our chief medical examiner ultimately ruled Zoe Kelly's death a homicide. Our detectives soon determined that 18-year-old Naquan Lucas, who had already been identified as a suspect in the June 30th case, was also connected to Zoe Kelly's homicide. The facts and evidence of the case were presented to a grand jury, which returned an indictment, including a charge for first-degree murder. Over the last month, the Metropolitan Police Department publicized images of Lucas to the community through media. In partnership with our Washington field office, FBI field office, and the United States Marshal Service, we offered a $75,000 reward for his apprehension. Those efforts culminated into last night's arrest in Germantown, Maryland, where members of our Capital Area Regional Task Force, which is known as Cardiff, located Naquan and took him into custody without incident. He was transported to MPD's homicide branch and charged with first-degree murder while armed, premeditated for both the murder of 21-year-old Eric and 17-year-old Zoe. I want to thank our homicide detective, Gabriel Truby, and Detective Herman Kelly and their colleagues at the Metropolitan Police Department Homicide Branch for their outstanding work on both investigations. These were very complex cases. Identifying Lucas as a suspect in both offenses required high-level detective work, and that is exactly what our team delivered. This is just one example of the effort being poured into each homicide case. As I speak to you right now, our detectives are hard at work identifying additional violent offenders in other cases. But I hope this news sends a message to individuals who choose to commit violence in our city. We do not rest, and we will not rest until every single suspect in offenses like these are held accountable. And I want to thank you, Judge Pirro, and your team at the United States Attorney's Office for your partnership throughout this investigation. I also want to thank our partners at the FBI Washington Field Office for their assistance, and the U.S. Marshal Service and the Capital Area Regional Task Force for their efforts locating and apprehending Naquan on last night. I also want to thank my mayor, Mayor Muriel Bowser, who has certainly been supportive of the Metropolitan Police Department and keeps public safety at the forefront of her mind. And I will now turn it back over to Judge Bureau.
United States Marshal Gaddy Seraltes.
I don't have much to add to this. I can tell you I'm the director of the United States Marshal Service. My name is Gaddy Seralta. I have the distinct honor to lead the United States Marshal Service and also to be the chairman of the D.C. Safe and Beautiful, the task force that was put together by the President of the United States, Donald Trump. This task force is a task force of 23 different agencies working together towards a common goal. The Cardiff, which is a task force run by the United States Marshal Service on a regular day, is heavily involved in the D.C. Safe and Beautiful Task Force. When we bring these cases to fruition, after all the hard work that the detectives do and the long hours that the police department puts in order to make these cases, it is quite an honor to be part of the team that takes the individuals down and brings them to justice. So for that, I thank you all.
Thank you. Yep, there.
Thank you, Judge. My name is Reed Davis. I'm the FBI Special Agent in charge of the Washington Field Office's Criminal Division. So I want to thank you, first, Judge and Chief and Director, for allowing us to be here with you today to share this partnership. And first, I want to just offer our deepest and sincerest condolences to the families of young Eric and Zoe for this tragic event. However, this arrest highlights the great partnership between the FBI, MPD, U.S. Marshal Service, and all of our law enforcement partners in our joint and collective efforts to reduce and eliminate homicides in the District of Columbia. And we will continue to contribute every financial, personnel, and technical resource at the FBI's disposal until we eliminate all violent crime in the district. So we also asked, all of our community members that if you witness a violent crime in the district, to please reach out and report it to the FBI or MPD so that we can take immediate action. And while today's arrests don't bring back Eric or Zoe, hopefully it does give an assurance to the community that your law enforcement partners, both federal and district and local, state, every municipalities are working together to eliminate violent crime and crush violent crime in this country. And this case in particular should stand as a testament to FBI Director Patel's commitment to crush violent crime. So thank you.
All right, just listening in there to officials speaking on this. And the third teenager has been arrested in connection with the shooting death of a Capitol Hill intern.
The enemy is rushing the control point. Trying to take the control point.
Wir müssen diesen Punkt halten! Nur eine Fleischwunde! Du kannst deinem Land noch nicht genug? Ja, ist das toll! Ich werde dich kriegen!
The enemy is trying to capture our control point.
Ich hab eine!
Brauche die Koordinaten des feindlichen Fahrzeugs. The enemy's trying to capture our control point.
Greif doch! Stirb! Angriff! Ah!
The enemy is rushing the control point.
Stirb!
The enemy has started capturing the control point.
Der Sieg wird unser sein! Sie haben ihn!
The enemy's trying to capture our control point.
Kopfschuss! Haha! Diese Stellung verteidigen! Endlich!
Oh mein Gott, ich hab's geschafft!
Ja! Ah! Wow! Da! Angriff! Ja! Ah! Ja! Vorstoß!
Los geht's!
Stirbt endlich, ihr Bastarde!
You must return to the battle. Don't let the enemy fortify their position.
Da! Ah!
Get back to the battlefield, soldier! attack.